for something. Yeah, now she better ride.
This is episode 60. I forgot already. What is it? Two. Dose. Of the Swerve City Podcast. We live in effect. We were just on a 2-hour car ride getting back here from Tampa. It was a wave. I got a nice little honey dip down there I was seeing. So I figured I'd just come through and like, hey, Teasy, when it come through, what's good? You ain't got to get on the bus. I got you, my dog.
Thank you, dog.
So, yeah.
Benefit of
what a friend's foe. Ha.
Benefit of having a local honey where I'm at. I can get the ride.
And that's how we start the show. Man, we've been rolling lately, bro. Marina Shafir came through, blessed the podcast last episode. She had a good time. A lot of people were commenting on not only on the YouTube page, but on social media, like, yo, this is the best we've ever seen Marina Shafir, like the most bright personality, which y'all don't know. A lot of these people are great human beings, fun, bright attitudes. Marina just turns into a killer when that camera comes on, and when it comes to getting in that combat sport mentality, there's nobody better, there's nobody more lethal. But when she lays back and comes through with the Swerve City Podcast, we have a good time, and that's why y'all here, because y'all know y'all gonna get something out of these guests that you don't get nowhere else on any other pod. So this Swerve over here, my man Monteasy, and I got my homie, my longtime homie from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Yeah, we repping it up in here. The good old 717. We got Adam Cole, baby. What's going on? Part two.
Part two. That's what I was going to say as well. Part two. Guys, I'm doing great. Good to be here. Always great talking to you guys.
Awesome.
I'm sure.
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
First, thank you for coming back, brother.
Of course, man.
It feels good to, to see where you're going, to see where you come from, see what the future holds, you know what I'm saying? Especially from the first episode we did, you know what I mean? That was a different time. Now,
so many years ago.
There's so many new experiences, so many things that you've accomplished, so many things you've done. You know, you come back, many great things, man. So thank you for coming back on.
Oh my God, of course. I always got time for you guys. It's always great to come on here and chat with you.
We appreciate that as always, bro.
Of course.
And before we get rolling on this whole thing, my album. By the time y'all see this, it had already dropped. You Couldn't Be Me is out now on all streaming platforms. Right now, as we're recording this, we are 2 days away from it dropping on all streaming platforms. By the time y'all see this, it'll be in your hands. It'll be that good product sitting right here in your hands. You can take it whatever you want to. You play it on the road. You play it in the car. Play it at your job. Ignoring your boss. Do whatever you need to do. Play it loud so you can't hear your kids. It's amazing. Don't let him hear it because I curse on it. Teasy say some real nasty shit on this too. Teasy potty mouth McGahee over here. My man.
I'm
No comment, right? No.
Stream the album.
Bro, I laid my verse and I was like, yeah. And then he drops his. I was like, oh my. Oh.
Man.
Coming in hot.
You know,
Coming in hot. I didn't curse on his records, but he just feel free to just say what he want on mine. let it all out. Let it free. I didn't know you thought like that. I'm like, we never had a conversation like this ever in my life, but feel free.
That's funny. The song that we're talking about. Making sure you go to
if that don't sell this record, I don't know what will.
And the look on his face when I got out of the session, he was like,
I took a shower afterwards. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is.
Nasty.
Yeah, I'm like, I felt like I played Dead Island 2.
He's like, I see why you smiling so much. We had Lisa Ann in this month.
Shout out Lisa Ann over here.
Shout out to Lisa.
But yeah, bro, if that don't sell the album, we got Zombie Juice from Flatbush Zombies on there. Anthony King blessed 2 tracks on there. We got Flash Garments, the homie Flash, who did Big Pressure that you hear every week on AEW from me. We got that on there. We got I think we got about 5-6 records produced by the Grammy Award winning Prophet, the producer, who won 2 Grammys on the Donda album with Kanye. And actually, I think there's a Kanye appearance on the record as well. But like I said, don't take my word for it. Just go listen. And then last but not least, we got Benny the Butcher hopping on there, blessing the record. Somebody Told a Lie. One of my favorite records I ever recorded. The production on it is simply amazing and beautiful. I never thought I'd do something like that this early in my music career, but I have nobody to thank but this man right here. A lot of the connections I made, Flash, shout out Prophet, shout out Benny, shout out Teasy. Shout out to Shawty T for engineering the whole thing, man. Just go have fun. Go have a good time. Talk about it on social media. Blast it. Retweet it. But right now, this is all about Mr. Adam Cole.
Baby. You got to say the baby at the end.
I can't help it, man.
It's just attached to my name at this point.
You say the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. Baby.
Right.
Yeah, you just can't say a tribe called. You know what I mean?
But hey, Tribe.
For real, congrats on the album, though, man.
Thank
I know
you,
how
bro.
hard you've worked and how excited you are about this. So I can't wait to listen to it either.
Dude,
I'm
thank
stoked.
you. I haven't played him a thing either.
Nope.
I'm like, nope. You got
I know it's going to be great. But I want to hear it with everybody else, just like the rest of you here in a couple of days. So
you ever have them dudes that like, yo, here you got to hear this song, and they look at you for the approval while you're listening? Like, yeah, it's hot, right? Like, you're not gonna get a good like response from that.
It's too much pressure. I almost need to be kind of like by myself,
right?
And like listen alone with headphones on and like really appreciate and understand what it is. So yeah. Fortunately, I haven't had that for quite some time as far as the pressure of someone staring at me going, what do you think? What do you think?
Like, do people do that with their matches? Like, hey, what do you think?
Oh, my
It's
Lord.
20 minutes long, but they're looking at you the whole time.
Oh, like people asking me to critique their matches?
watch theirs.
Yeah, see, that I don't mind
Yeah.
so much. Because actually I appreciate anytime any talent comes up and says, hey, what do you think?
Right.
If you could watch my match or you could tear it apart or give me critiques, that to me knows that they're serious about the idea of maybe wanting to improve. And the beautiful thing about wrestling, as you know, is like everyone has different varying opinions. And there are some pieces of advice that could apply to you. And other times, maybe it doesn't apply to you, but it like sparks an idea in your brain of the way you want to approach something. So in that sense, I don't mind at all. I never mind what people ask me what they think.
You're the video game guy, so how I picture it is like, you know how like you're filling out your skill tree.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the whole tree by one skill, but you'll get that one thing that lights up over here.
Exactly.
That works on like, speaking to other NPCs and stuff. That skill worked, you know? So that's how I kind of see it as like, somebody messaged me, DM me about like, what's your advice on being successful in wrestling? And I'm like, that is so loaded.
It's so loaded.
Such a loaded question with multiple variants of answers.
Yep.
And then the tricky part is finding what works for you.
Exactly. Going off of what you said though, because I get asked that question like all the time, like whether it's at a signing or someone who's just starting out in wrestling. And I always say that it's a really, really broad answer, but I don't think I've ever completely said this publicly. But I say two pieces of advice. I say, number one, and again, these are going to seem so obvious, but it's the most important thing. Number one, wrestling has to be your number one priority.
Yep.
You have to be willing to miss birthdays, family reunions, hanging out with your friends on the weekend.
Funerals.
Exactly. Seriously.
Which I had
and
to.
It's sad to say, but it's true. You have to completely commit yourself to it.
Amen.
And then number two, be someone that other people want to ride in a car with.
Ah, yes.
Which really is a fancy way of saying just be a good person at the end of the day. Because, again, there are so many veterans with so much knowledge that could pass information on to you. And if you're someone who's hard to be around, people aren't going to go out of their way to try to help you or try to teach you. So being someone that other people like to be around, it's amazing the progress and the success that people see when they have that mentality.
That's worked for a lot of like I've listened to what helped me honestly was listen to other entertainers in other fields of entertainment. And a lot of those advices kind of blend together in the same way. Same thing with like actors don't want to work on sets with other actors they don't get along with.
That's it.
Directors don't want to hire actors that are difficult. They want to hire their friends. That's why you see Christopher Nolan constantly work with a Christian Bale, constantly work with a Cillian Murphy, constantly works with a Tom Hardy because he likes those guys. So they continually come back for all these projects. You know, like Brad Pitt is always with Brad Pitt has no problem working with Leonardo DiCaprio on like multiple films. Like you see Samuel Jackson with so-and-so with a Tarantino all the time.
And in 2023, there are so many great pro wrestlers
that
you can't afford to be hard to deal with.
No.
Because there are so many guys who are so great and also great to work with that you would... Again, to this day in 2023, I haven't met someone who is like, oh my God, this guy's impossible to deal with and still stayed at a place for a super long time. Because now everyone you just have to be easy to deal with because that's so important.
That's true.
Now it goes to the point of now. Back in the days and different times before we kind of came up, it was more of the business and how you are, how you look, things like that. You know what I mean? And now, in today's world of social media, of knowing people, and the way that the world is now, everything is built off relationships and character. Nowadays, you see everybody, if you're not a good person in anything, you get aired out quick nowadays on the social media world. They will find something. So, like you said, with working with people and being a good person, that really blends up. It's like what you said, bro, about like you said, playing somebody music and then, hey, yo, did you hear what I just said? And you were winding, bro. We heard you, bro.
Let's let
the song play, bro. You know what I mean? Let's let the song play.
Yep.
I said,
it was dope.
Bro, let me just listen to your song, bro. You know
I said when the T hits the top,
bro. Like I
can count.
In my world, I stay away from them rappers. Right. I stay away from them. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying.
And as well, it's not to say like, of course, everybody like makes mistakes, and we all have times where we're maybe not proud of something we did or something we said, but more, it's like you said, it's like a general mentality of just try your best to be the best you can around everyone that you work with, around everyone you interact with.
Right.
Seriously, I think that's so important. So, like I said, in 2023, people can't get away with doing whatever they want as much as maybe people used to.
But what is something on the other side? Look at it from the yin and the yang. What is something from the business, from your line of business, that you've had to learn or you've had to adapt to, or what has been the biggest struggle for you to adapt to, even from the other side, that not only being a good person, but in the line of work that you do, what has been like the toughest part for you to adjust to, that you still battle with each and every day in your line of work?
Sure. For me, certainly, I think lots of times I battle with, and Shane, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I definitely have some self-confidence issues, even to this day. Like after doing it for 15 years, I think part of the Adam Cole character as a heel that I enjoyed so much is I was this cocky, brash, no one can touch me, I am the best in the world character that is so not who I am as a person. It was like when I walked through that curtain, it was like I felt invincible for a second. And then you walk back through, and again, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to, because I care and we care so much about this job, that you want to be perfect, and you're constantly chasing that perfection of whether it be matches or promos or what have you. You want to be the best. You really, really do. So I think I'm still growing and learning as time goes on, but early on, it was such an internal battle constantly of like being able to balance that act between always want to better yourself and not absolutely tearing yourself apart for feeling like you're not perfect. If that makes sense.
Do you think that's because of like the competition, the person next to you was just on fire as well? Because our generation was just stacked, man, full of like just the next guy could be any one of us.
Right.
And then and then you think you're at that moment, but then like, oh no, there's still another ceiling I gotta break through.
Sure.
Another one. And then like, but you're seeing this guy like break through and boom, 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 just clearing house.
Right.
And like, but they're on that wave. You're just like, you're doing well, but to me, that's how I'm always like measuring my success.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like he's killing it. Okay, I gotta kill it just as hard or go harder.
Right.
Or like, he won that title over in this promotion over here overseas. I'm like, man, I want to get to that promotion, but I haven't done it yet. Don't worry. Okay, now I gotta level my game up. It's not like you want to see him do worse or
of course
whatever.
not.
Like it's just, but you're like, that sparks you to want to do better.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I never really battled with and I know this isn't necessarily what you're saying, but I never really battled with the seeing someone else do well and being like, oh my God, I got to be better than them. Actually, don't get me wrong. I would see friends of mine succeed and it would be motivating, but it seriously was more of a being, you hear this all the time. We're our own worst critic.
All the time.
And again, early on in my career, it was at a point where it was not self-destructive, but almost self-destructive, where I was so hard on every single, like it would be to a point where I would have a match that, hypothetically went well, but I would obsess on like, I didn't like the way my arms were moving in between this one thing that I did. Like, it was crazy.
It's like your body language or
Yes.
like, and that would like resort to like a broader like issue.
Yeah.
When it didn't have to be.
Exactly. So now, like, as time has gone on, I'm definitely proud, but I am still working on it, is being better about critiquing myself without beating myself up too much. And also at the same time, like, being able to sit back and smell the roses, kind of.
For sure.
Like before, you were so obsessed with this finish line that you created for yourself.
Yeah.
You would do all these awesome things, like getting to go to Japan or Europe or wrestle on television, and just still being like, no, I need to get to this next stage, and not really enjoying it. So now at 33 years old, I definitely feel like I've gotten better about enjoying it, being proud of my friends and coworkers who do really well, and also being able to criticize myself without beating myself up. You know what I mean?
Do you feel, because I know I've this is a good thing that you said this, because it's something that I was
It's important,
battling.
I think. Yeah.
And I was talking, shout out to our editor, Mike the Goat. Me and him have this conversation a lot. He asked me this question, and it leads to what you said.
Sure.
He said, with everything, actually, side note, Swerve was having a conversation to add to that. He said he was talking about something about backstage. I recently saw you guys backstage in Florida. Mm-hmm. He said, "Oh man, you kind of you grandfathered in, bro. Everybody knows you, stuff like that." And then me and Mike had a long conversation about a long time ago, which leads to what you're saying. He said, "TZ, are you comfortable with being the veteran, the known role, when you've been on this climb for so long? You enjoy that climb. You remember that climb, the years you've been putting in, like for yourself, years in the Indies, years, and then you get to WWE, you do the Undisputed Era. When you get to that point, and then you get to this point, when you're solidified, everybody knows you, and then you end up chasing your own goals. It's almost like chasing that rush of that feeling of your come-up moment, because when that moment happens, sometimes it happens so fast, and then you get it, and then you're like, at this point, you're trying to maintain it. So you're trying to keep doing goals and keep figuring out ways to keep doing that, and then that's when I think your self-confidence starts to mess with you, because you're like, well, damn, you're trying to find new things, new goals, new challenges, new ways to succeed, and then you see other people, and then you can't help but think, you see other people come up, and that makes you think about the times when you was coming up. You was like, damn, I remember that damn time. It'd be the funnest times of your life when that damn come up. Yeah. And then when you achieve it, and you get to a certain point where you're like there, you're not the new toy, like we said, the Woody and Buzz Lightyear thing. Mm-hmm. Once you're Woody, you're like, well, damn, I miss being Buzz Lightyear.
Sure. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that something? Is that like what you're battling? Did I kind of explain it very well to you?
No, absolutely. So there is certainly a part of me that looks back at, like, when I was 18, 19, and in my early 20s, where you love that chase of, like, everything is new. Every single match you have is like a step forward and you advancing your career. And that's such an exciting time. Of course, there's a lot of pressure there, but you're still so new and have so little experience or accomplishments where that's really fun. But I am proud of myself in the sense of I've never lost that mindset. Like, Amen. I still constantly feel like every time I show up on television to wrestle, every single match I have, like, this is another match, another promo, another step towards me continuing to create my legacy. And the importance is there, if not maybe even more so than it was beforehand. Mm-hmm. So I definitely still have that mentality. I think it's really important to keep. But again, in the early stages, all of it is so new and so exciting. Every single match you have is like a huge step forward in your career. Oh, yeah. But I still treat it to this day. Like, every single match that I have, I treat as important as I did when I was 20 years old.
Yep. So at this stage, this is like I feel like this is the most vulnerable space that you've ever had to be in your career.
It is, for sure. That
being said, with like the AEW All Access, dipping into your personal life, dipping into like the injuries, you and Britt's more personal relationship and things like that. Like, this is so much of like the behind the scene of Austin that we're seeing that's never been displayed before. And it's like, it went from never being displayed before to being just shown to the world. Yeah. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
There's like, because we don't see you eating cereal on your social media and stuff like that on your IG stories. We don't see that. Like, we've never really seen that stuff. So what was that feeling like, going straight from like being super concealed to super open and super vulnerable?
Yeah, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, even
like cameras are in your parents' home and grandparents. I'm like, ooh, man.
Right.
I didn't because I didn't know. You didn't tell me any of this was going on.
Right. No, it was really scary, and honestly, I was super unsure about even doing it. I remember talking with Britt about the idea of this reality show starting, and me being like, I don't know, because again, like you said, I've been fairly private with my private life, but again, when all this stuff happened with my 2 back-to-back concussions, and I was sitting at home, and then this idea was approached to me about doing this show, I did constantly think back to the fact that so many people had no clue what was going on with me.
Yeah.
And so many people were so supportive and thoughtful and kind through the whole process that I'm like, I think I should kind of show this journey. I think I should explain what's been going on and what's happening. But the scariest part about it was, again, I'm legitimately going through a situation where I think I may never get to wrestle again. And I'm 33, and pro wrestling is my life. I eat, sleep, and breathe wrestling. So the idea of cameras being there, I remember in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, oh God, a camera's going to be in the room, and I'm going to be told by a doctor, you're not going to be able to wrestle again. And then the whole world is going to see that. But again, it was super, super important to me to kind of document all that stuff, and kind of show the world what I was going through. And then as time went on, I became more and more comfortable with it and more open to it. I'm glad that for the most part, it seems like a lot of the people who checked out the show were very positive about the show. Very much so. And obviously we got a fairy tale happy ending, which was great as well. But it was, man, it was definitely scary at first.
Yeah.
Really, really scary. Yeah.
What happened at the end? I ain't see it yet.
I returned to the ring.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was there for that. I was there for all that.
So how was that during this time when you're sitting, you're basically inclusive into your own thoughts.
Yeah. Because
you're not clear to wrestle. Right. During this time, you know what I mean? What did you do kind of to keep yourself mentally sharp? You know what I mean? Physically, obviously, you go to gym, keep yourself in shape, but I know, like you said, you eat, breathe, and sleep this. This is what you do. But now you're clinically not cleared to do it. What did you do during this time? Kind of not just to keep yourself focused, keep your morale. Because I know there's some days, you had some bad days. We all have bad days in life. But that, I'm pretty sure that's some of the darkest times of your life.
Easily.
What did you do to keep yourself going? So it was Britt a great support system for you during this time?
Oh man. So the first few months were the worst because I had to be careful about watching TV, playing video games. I could only go for walks. That was it. And that was when I really kind of dealt with some massive anxiety issues. Again, we already had touched base on the fact that I can be an overthinker. We all can, we're in our own worst critic.
As creators, bro, we're always going to be that.
Yeah.
So just live with it.
so being able to, or having to deal with that while not having the outlet of performing and wrestling was really, really tough. Again, I can't tell you how many times that Britt would wake up at 3:30 in the morning and I would be up like pacing back and forth with my heart pounding out of my chest, and her getting up and consoling me and being there for me, knowing that she had to be up at 7 a.m. to go to the dental office.
Wow.
And not blinking an eye. So I couldn't have done it without her. Like when I say that, I really do mean that.
Yeah.
But this was wonderful, is a few months after I had gone through what I had gone through with the recovery process, and I was still seeing a brain physical therapist, which I didn't even know was a thing until I went through my injury.
There's therapists on everything, man.
Right. And
just for your hands.
She actually told me, she goes, well, what do you like to do? And I explained how I enjoy playing video games in my off time. And she goes, well, if you can play games and you don't get symptoms, you don't feel dizzy, you don't get headaches, do it. It's incredibly important for your neurotransmitters to fire and your reaction time and things like that.
Ooh, okay.
So, man, having a Twitch stream and being able to play video games and talking to people was huge for me. Like, I genuinely mean this. Again, I talk about Britt being so helpful. I don't know how I would have gotten through it without that. Because for months, being able to again, communicate with the outside world and play these games that I really enjoyed, and all those people to be, there for me the entire step of the way. Yeah. Man, that was massive. It was huge for me. And that kept me sane kind of throughout the whole process, for sure.
What are things you had to shut out?
Well, what things did I have to shut out?
Yeah, shut away. Just keep away from, stay away from. Like,
yeah. So, for a solid, I'd say 4 to 5 months, I could not be in a car for an extended amount of time. Wow. Or I would start to feel really dizzy and woozy and things like that. I couldn't fly for I think 6 or 7 months, which was really rough too. I had to be very careful about the physical exercise that I did. Yeah. So that was probably the most difficult thing as far as being able to travel and go and see places. Like I couldn't go see my family in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Oh my God. I had to be careful if Britt was going somewhere and I'm like, well, how long's the car drive? And she goes, it's 35 minutes. I'd go, well, I can't go then. Oh, like God. That was pretty rough. So I literally, guys, I was like kind of not locked in my house, but kind of. I would just go outside and walk around my development over and over again to kind of be outside and be in the sun and the fresh air and stuff. So I really felt kind of trapped in my one location. That was rough.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Man, like coming from like the transition that you were making from like the big like NXT, WWE, and all that stuff to coming over to AEW, I feel like even for me, I feel like for a lot of us that made that transition, the amount of criticism we got was crazy. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of like people that were happy, proud, and excited, anticipating us, seeing us. We have that group, but then there's just like that echo chamber of just people that were just like so critical on every little thing. We had the magnifying glass on every little move we made, every little booking decision, every little promo we had, like our look, our sound, we were coming in different, new music and stuff. We had all that. And I feel like these are the most critical points in our careers. So I'm speaking on your behalf. I'm like dealing with criticisms of the transition to AEW and stuff like that. How were you coping with that and seeing that? Or were you even hearing any of it? Or were you blocking it out?
Oh, no. I absolutely have seen a lot of the criticism. But I've tried to keep this mentality my entire career. And I truly do believe this. The fans of mine who support me and love the things that I do, I cherish them, and I will never make them feel not important. But the other thing is, and this is the reality of the entertainment industry, is people are allowed to say and do whatever they want when it comes to the entertainment industry. Like as far as if you want to go online and say that you hate my matches and you hate my promos or you hate me, you're allowed to, because I'm in the public eye and you have that freedom and you have that right. Of course, I'm not going to say that I love it and it feels great or whatever.
Where it gets to harassing. And
yes, that's where it gets totally to like different of course. Yeah, not at all saying that like threatening people. Right. Or that is not okay, obviously. But if I made this move and people aren't happy with it, they are more than welcome to voice that opinion if they would like.
Do you think there's responsibility on that side of the wall too? As long like we have the responsibility to be able to just take it. We got to take the bullets. Right. We got to build up our Kevlar and put the armor on. Yeah. Because we chose to put ourselves in the limelight on front of the camera and travel and be the entertainers that we are. Yeah. Do you think there's also responsibility for the people that are voicing those things as well? Like, and it's not even just like fans. That's the thing.
Sure.
Sure. And I think that's where I have an issue with it. It's not just fans. It's people that have done what we do.
I think it's more, again, I truly do believe the beautiful thing about the world that we live in is you can say how you feel 24/7, which in a lot of ways is positive. Again, not saying anything that is threatening or super derogatory. But it's hard for me to understand because, of course, there have been times I've gone to see a movie or watched a TV show or listened to a song, and I'm like, that's not for me. But I've never gone online and talked about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Let me tear
everyone's
apart
different.
your entire acting career that got you to this $1 million point.
Sure,
I'm gonna
sure.
just shred it apart.
But
Talk about your dog.
that is 2023, and that's the world that we live in a lot of ways. So I try so hard because, for example, I just did a convention in Manchester, England. A couple of weekends ago, and the people that I met and got to talk to, and the smiling faces and the stories about matches I had 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is exactly
This
why
is
I
what
do
keeps
it.
us going.
Like, for real.
Yep.
So, and again, as you know, the longer your career goes and the more in the public eye you are, you will gain new people who appreciate you, and you're going to gain a bunch of new people that don't appreciate you. And that's
and in time, those people that don't kind of flip eventually.
Yeah,
they do come
exactly.
around eventually, but it's just like
right.
It's just like you're not going to realize you're not going to please everybody. You're just going to do what you do, and the people that you are for.
And hey, I mean this, and I'm sure you could agree with this as well, but I will do my best to please as many people as I possibly can. Sure. I really do. I go out there with every intention of having a match that every single person in that building and every single person watching at home goes, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. Or I cut a promo that I hope everyone in the arena and everyone at home goes, that was awesome.
That spoke to me.
Exactly. Yeah. But the reality is it doesn't speak to everybody, obviously. No. And I think, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't ever want to come across as like, oh, they don't like me, they're an idiot. That's not true. You're allowed to like me, you're allowed to not like me, and that's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling.
What hurts me is like the people that say no, this is wrong.
Oh,
this
sure.
This is just bad.
Right.
Like, no, because there's
art,
hundreds of people, thousands of people that appreciate this.
And art is so subjective.
Exactly.
Like, there are matches that some people, like, if you were to ask 100 wrestling fans, what's your favorite match of all time? I promise you, they're all giving different answers.
But it's not even asked their favorite. What's the best match of all time?
Sure.
You're going to get 100 different answers still.
There you go. Yep. Absolutely.
Because it's not, there's no definitive answer to that.
And that's the beautiful thing. We could sit here and listen to music, and the three of us could go, oh my God, this is awesome. And then we could pull 10 people we don't know in this room, and they go, nah, it's not for me.
Like, what?
And that's
like, what?
That's what's awesome about art.
Yeah,
and
the number one song on Billboard charts, we may not like.
Exactly.
But it's doing something or correct.
Yes.
You know
So that's where I agree with you in the sense of I subjectively could not go, this song is number one. No, this is a bad song. Clearly it's not. It's number one. So it's
here for a reason
to some people, you know? So I agree. Totally agree with you.
What do you think
spoke to them bots? What?
Yeah.
Do you think is you know, for you, right?
Yeah.
As you have gone through a point. So obviously with this redemption, what has been the key point of your reinvention, of your comeback? What is the main goal that you're looking to accomplish now? You said, okay, you know what? I had this time off from this injury. I went through a very, very bad time. You know, the grace of God, I'm back. Yep. I'm feeling good. My energy's good. You know, I got the reality show. What is part of your reinvention? What is the goal that you're looking to obtain now in your comeback to you know, doing what you do best?
So man, I'm not kidding. And I'm sorry because this sounds like such a standard answer, but I really do mean this.
Right.
I was mentally preparing to have to start a new life without wrestling.
Oh.
And that was so difficult for me.
What were the thoughts? What were the ideas?
I mean, I'm thinking maybe I'll Twitch stream, maybe I'll do something in gaming, or maybe I'll start a wrestling school. Like I was really mentally trying to prepare myself for that happening.
I'd ride a tractor.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
That's what it'd be. At this point, if I stop today, I'm riding a tractor. Agriculture is where it's at, baby. Back to Lancaster, PA we go.
But being cleared and being able to come back and travel again, be on an airplane, walk out to the ring and have a match, like my goal going forward is just being able to continue to wrestle. Like I really do mean that. Like when I was able to come back and wrestle Daniel Garcia and be out there with Britt and the fans and the confetti that came down, all that stuff, I'm like, it was my favorite moment of my career because of how much it meant to me and how for months and months I thought I wasn't going to be able to come back. So At this point, of course, I have goals like I want to move up the ranks in AEW, and I want to, challenge or maybe someday be a world champion at AEW and travel and do more things, more awesome stuff within wrestling. But at this point, when I wake up, there's like a whole new appreciation for this job. I never lost appreciation for wrestling, but now after going through what I went through, I'm not kidding. Every single week I show up at TV, I'm like, oh my God, I got the best job in the world. This is incredible. So yeah, it's just wrestling week to week. That's the main goal.
Absolutely. And with that, and with that turn and with that time with you having these future goals, also look at it too. How do you, has it been difficult for you? And I really have to ask you to just from a man's point of view. Has it been difficult through everything that's been going on, even with the access to what you and your wonderful wife are going through and what you guys do together? Do you sometimes sit back and you say, you know what, maybe, I shouldn't have done this, maybe we shouldn't do this, and keep things more private with each other because you have so much out in the open? And how do you keep that bond with each other, along with everything being so out in the open and you guys being in the same business? How do you guys keep that bond, and do you have any regrets about having everything so out in the open?
Yeah, so in regards to the show, actually, because I've talked about this a little bit before, but there's nothing that was shot or nothing that was said that I regret whatsoever. I mean, literally, that entire show, that whole process.
Amen, brother.
Very, very happy with everything that we did. I agreed to it. I committed to it, and I'm happy with the chance that, again, the audience got to see what we had to say and kind of what I was going through. So no regrets there.
What's a big point on the show that they didn't put on the show?
Oh, the biggest thing, and I actually posted this on my Twitter, but over Thanksgiving, I spent that time with Britt's family, and my mom drove 5 hours.
I know that drive. I know that drive.
Two Britt's families, and we spent Thanksgiving together. And we shot for like 12 hours. It was all day, and none of that made it in the show. But I got the chance. They made a little clip, and I posted it on my Adam Cole Twitter.
Yeah.
And that was what I was not only the most proud of, but that to me really kind of captured what I was going through, how important family is, and things like that. So that's one thing that I really wish would have made it into the show, but at least it gets to live online forever. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You missed that?
Yeah.
I was there for that Buffalo show, man. That joint's crazy. Point in time we'll never.
The with me and Brian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
man,
what a crazy
magic. That day was just
crazy day.
Magic. I've seen my dad that day too.
Oh,
he lived in Buffalo at the time.
Oh,
now he lives
nice.
in South Carolina.
Nice. Did I ever tell you that whole story about how that came about?
No. I heard like other people's, but I never heard yours.
Okay, so I'm not kidding, man. So for the for that SmackDown event where I ended up or a bunch of us ended up going over there, and I wrestled
for you nerds are watching SmackDown, shut up. Yeah. Bitches.
So I remember walking around, it was like 1 p.m. and I was walking around in shorts, no shirt on, just casually making some food. And I got a phone call and they said, hey, you need to get on an airplane.
Yep.
I'm going to send you the address. You need to be there in an hour. I got the address a minute later and the airport was 50 minutes from where I was from. So I had 10 minutes to throw all my stuff in a bag and then rush to this airport to then make it and take a plane. We landed. There was like a police escort that took us to the building.
Yep,
and we got there and the show was going on. It was like
8:30
and I went out there at 9:30. So just such a crazy day.
Like got there, went on at 9:30. Get there at 8:30. Went on at 9:30 to main event against one of the best wrestlers of our generation. It's not like, you're just putting it together. No, you're putting on a main event match.
I'll tell you what the beautiful thing was about that.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to be nervous.
No.
So that was great. There was no time to be worried about anything.
Your time to even think was like 2 hours before you even
left.
You know, like that's what people like fans don't understand about like the mentality of us of what we do. Our thought process is just kind of like we left that way behind.
Right.
We're just going on instinct and drive, especially for us who've been doing it for like 10 years plus. That's all we really go on, and we're just moving. And then when after it's done, or hours later, or the night of, or the morning later, we're kind of like, oh wow, we
Oh
can't.
my
That's where it
God.
kind of catches back up to us.
Exactly.
So when you're seeing us on like doing these these shows and press conferences afterwards and stuff, we're still like on that mode.
Oh,
it
big
hasn't
time.
caught the life has not caught up to us yet.
For sure.
So like because those things are so momentous for us. Some
Yeah.
of us live into it, some live in it, you know, but a lot of us it's still catching up to us later.
Oh man, you're so right. You do have like an appreciation for what just happened lots of times the next day. And on top of that, I've had a bunch of people go, "Oh my God, hey, when do the nerves go away? Like when do you feel like or when does your heart stop beating out of your chest right before you go out there, or you feel like you're gonna puke or whatever?" And I unfortunately have to tell them, never. It never goes away. I am so nervous and anxious and excited. Like it's a combination of a bunch of different emotions, obviously. But those nerves will, at least for me, they're never going to go away. They're never going to go away.
My nerves have like really gone numb to a certain extent.
Okay.
So they'll pop like they're there, but they're numb. They're really faint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but they'll like pop up on like the moment of this match. I'm like, oh, where's that come from?
Right.
You know, or like, all right, the mic is coming to you. It's your turn for the promo. Oh, where'd that come from? Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like faint. It's down there, but then they're like, boop. Oh, shoot.
Sure.
So it's not like all at once, but it just like spikes every once in a while for me.
And I think for me is the nerves are still there as much as they were at the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
But there's a different ability to handle the nerves that I've grown to learn how to do as time has gone on. Like, for example, this would always really help me is like, if I'm really, really nervous about a match or a situation I'm in, I just remind myself, I've been doing this for 15 years.
Yep.
Like I've been in this situation before. I've been in this zone before. So I think that kind of makes it easier to process. But I'm also very aware that for me, that nervous feeling, it's just never gone away.
No.
It's always there.
Oh, man.
Always there.
Let me ask you this, right? So you look back hindsight 2020, like you said, we'll watch the SmackDown people. You know, you look back from even before your time in AEW. So now we're gonna do a little bit of revisions here. Just looking back.
Sure.
When it comes to what you're doing now, or when you look back and you think about the impact that you had with the Undisputed Era, that whole time, looking back now with the four of you guys, shout out to Roddy, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the whole guy, all four of you, three of you guys. You know, what do you feel like looking back at that time? One, did you feel like you accomplished, you know, what you wanted to accomplish with you guys? How was that feeling, you know, looking back at it, the impact that you guys made together?
Oh man. I will absolutely cherish that time with those guys.
Absolutely.
Like again, I remember thinking when I first got there, I had no idea what I was going to do. Bobby Fish had no idea what he was going to do. Kyle O'Reilly, same thing. And then the idea was pitched that the three of us were going to work together. And we were so excited because actually for a very brief period of time, me, Kyle, and Bobby were in a trio together in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And it was only for a couple of matches. But I remember the three of us were together to in turn lead to me turning on Kyle, to then me and Kyle going into a program together. But we were having so much fun and the crowd was responding so well to it that for a second we were like, hey, maybe we should keep this trio going a little longer before we go to the eventual me and Kyle angle. And that didn't happen, and we just moved forward, which was fine. But getting the chance to do that on a stage like that was so cool for so many different reasons. First of all, it's always great to work with people you consider your best friends. So getting to do that with those guys in such a high-pressure situation was awesome. On top of that, we were just talking about pressure. Getting to share the pressure with other people also made things much easier.
Yep.
Instead of just me being thrown out into the lion's den, it was me, Bobby, and Kyle being thrown out together. So we had each other to like bounce ideas off of, share the anxiety, share the nerves together. So that was cool. But when the group truly felt special is when Roddy showed up. Like that to me, the three of us together, it was awesome. It was fun. But when Roddy became a part of the group, that's when I was like, we're cooking on all cylinders at this point. It just felt organic. It felt real. When I would walk to the ring with those guys, I walked out there going, yeah, these are three of my best friends, three guys there's no one else I'd rather share the ring with. And fortunately, the crowd responded in a very, very positive way as well. But yeah, looking back on what we were able to accomplish, what we were able to do together is it's one of the most prized moments of my career for sure.
Absolutely. It's a time.
Yeah.
It's a time. I think we really got to start understanding and like realizing, and I'm not afraid of even saying it and speaking it. Like, we are in a we're in a generational era, and we are the generation.
Yeah.
And we gotta wear that badge now at this point,
right?
Because a lot of people are looking to us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. We've been, I know you can relate to this too, but I was actually just talking with, I think with Roddy about this, how it's so weird to be in a situation where we're not the young guys anymore.
No.
I mean, we still have years and years of our career to go, but like, it's so crazy going, oh my God, so-and-so is 23 years old.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my God, we're so used to being the young guys.
Dude,
and that's not the case anymore.
I had to wrestle a freaking 17-year-old for 40 minutes.
What?
For that Defy title. And he whooped my ass. And now I have a match. I'm his debut match of AEW Dynamite.
Wild.
17.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was nowhere near understanding what I was doing at 17. I didn't get that till like 24, 25 maybe.
Yeah, me too, bro. It was
like
mid-20s for me.
That's what it's just the light bulb started going off for me.
Yeah.
Like 17, these guys are just, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And what it makes me think is like, these guys are gonna be monsters when they're 30.
Yeah.
Literal monsters. When I see young kids like 20, 21, 22, and they're so insanely talented and so insanely good already.
And then they're fearless.
And
they have no fear. They have no conscience.
And just like a sponge ready to learn.
Yeah.
And want to improve all the time. Crazy athletes. I'm like,
I will say shout out to these young kids, man. They got great attitudes too.
Great.
I have not run into like I go to like a lot of these shows like when I can, you know, and like I haven't seen any like I haven't gotten that feeling of like about these kids or male or female.
Yep.
Like everybody's been pretty dope.
Yep.
Everybody's been like being brought up the right way from what I've noticed.
Which is really, really awesome to see.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like I look at other sports too. You're seeing like I kind of compare it to like these other sports like NBA. You're seeing kids come out of like 19 and just like attacking LeBron. I'm like, you're 19. Right. You're just talking to like one of the top 5 greatest players. They're just they don't care. They have no conscience.
That's why I said they have no conscience, bro. They have energy. They don't care. They don't care about what you've done.
No. Like, you know I'm a 3-time defensive player of the year, right? Dunking on you. Boom. Right. I'm 18 years old. I don't care. Like, you just came out of freaking like some no-name college and freaking wherever, and you just like it's crazy.
It's amazing.
I listen to like a lot of these NBA veterans now. They're like, oh, what I would do against these kids? Oh no, I'm not guarding them. They don't care. They don't care. They got all these extra moves. Like Iverson came up with the crossover. These kids are coming up with like doubles behind, boom, step back and shooting from 40 feet in your face.
Which if you have,
they don't care.
If you have that combination of going back to wrestling, where you are absolutely fearless. Yeah. And ready and down to do anything. And then you're also respectful and a sponge to the business and want to learn. It's just, you're unstoppable.
It's over.
Absolutely unstoppable.
It's over. That's why I say like own this badge of like, hey, we the guys. We are this generation. We have that badge. And not saying we're gatekeeping y'all, but just understand we see you. We see you. We here. But just know like y'all time is coming. And we're happy to meet you there.
Yeah, exactly.
We are happy to meet you there.
Very, very excited.
Yeah, but like I ain't afraid of y'all little bastards. I am not. I'm
not even close to being done yet.
No. I'm a father. Yeah. I'm a father of some grown ass children. I'm not getting pushed out yet.
Yeah. No, it does though, man. It makes me so excited for the future. Of wrestling, because again, as you know, it's like we're all just cogs in a wheel. And like everyone gets their turn, and then after a while, when you feel like you're ready to finish up, you get put into the pile and someone else comes in. So seeing like, again, all these young wrestlers who are just killing it has me very, very excited for the next 5-10 years of pro wrestling.
I always say you spend 2/3 of your career losing.
Yeah.
Learn how to lose, man. You lose on the way, and when you're coming up, learning the craft, You pay your dues. You figure it out.
Yep.
You get your run. You start winning.
I think, interestingly enough, now more so than ever, for young talent, or really talent in general, you don't even have to be young, but if you're new to a territory, losing is incredibly important. Because there is a thing, I remember when me and Kyle were in Ring of Honor when we first started, we're in our young 20s, and we teamed together, and we wrestled every major team in that company. And we lost to every major team in that company. But we were given 15, 20 minutes for that match. And when we first had, our first match against a big team, it was like, oh, those kids did pretty good. Then after the fourth one, it was, these guys need to win more. This isn't fair. This is BS. Then after the eighth one, these guys should be the tag team champions.
Yep.
This is crap. And we got more and more over as time went on because we were losing. So losing can be very beneficial.
It'll like I said, that 2/3, and then when you have your run on the way down.
Yep.
You start now. The new guys are coming in.
Right.
You can't keep up with them anymore.
Right.
You're on your down slope. But yeah, dude, like it's like the Avengers movies. Like at some point, somebody he's gotta win something.
Right.
And you can't help but root for him. And then when he finally gets his solo run in the other movie and spinoff, I'm like, all right, I'm watching. I'm invested because I want to see this guy win. I want to see him pull out the big one, man.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Marvel movies. What's the last one that came out? Ant-Man. Didn't that stink? Anybody watch it?
I haven't seen it.
Guardians just came out. I might leave you at the crib and go see Guardians, bro.
Man, look.
Do we have time? Lakers are playing, man.
Speaking of,
yeah. Oh, somebody do that. Okay.
this is kind of off topic, but it's a TV show. Me and Britt finally watched and finished the show Lost.
I saw her tweet that.
Dude, loved it.
I'm like,
absolutely loved it. What a show.
But Britt was talking about doing a poll on the ending of it. I'm like, Britt, you're about 15 years too late about that poll. I wanted to tweet that so bad. It's like, okay, what do you guys think? I'm like,
man.
That was a time in history at this point now.
Right. Well, that's been the funny thing is telling everybody like, oh man, just finished the show Lost. Like it was great. And every single person is gone. The show from 2004?
Dude,
that one.
Like TV show, I was mad. I was damn mad. Snowfall ended. I was so angry.
Oh my, yeah,
like
so good.
It's like, have you seen Snowfall?
I have not.
That's the next show.
That's the next one.
That's the next one.
Please,
I promise you.
I was watching.
It's the talk of the town right now.
Speaking of shows, the news has recently come out that Versus, right?
Yeah.
Doing the Versus thing during the pandemic. So the next big Versus in Madison Square Garden is going to be Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri. And
Jermaine Dupri, who recently walked out with Jade Cargill at AEW.
Oh. Yes.
That Jermaine Dupri, who
Very nice
everybody was
guy,
like,
too.
who? Oh, I wanted to slap our fan base so bad.
Let me ask you this question.
Oh, so upset.
Yeah.
Go through your Rolodex of what you know from both men. Jermaine Dupri, Usher, Lil Bow Wow, Da Brat,
Jagged Edge.
Basically anybody in R&B from the early 2000s.
The Atlanta guys.
The Atlanta guys, Ludacris. Then obviously Diddy is Diddy. Who do you have? Who do you have winning if you had to put your money on somebody? If you had to think about from their catalogs, who do you have your money on?
I will say it's hard to fight a Biggie record, though.
It's very hard, brother.
In this Diddy versus?
Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri, yeah. And
the catalog. But also Jermaine Dupri got Mariah Carey records.
Yeah. God, so I can't properly give an educated guess on this one.
Right,
so I don't want to pretend. But I'm off a feel, I'm going Diddy.
Yeah.
Okay, you say Diddy has.
Like I said, it's hard to fight a Mace and a Biggie and a Kim record and a Locks.
You can get by Mace, but
it's
but
Are you kidding me? Mace versus Jagged Edge. I'm going Mace, bro.
Wait, why Mace versus Jagged Edge?
Records. Yeah. Come on, bro.
No, I'm not saying.
It'll be good though. It'll be good.
I think Madison Square Garden is a bit too much. I think we need an Apollo Theater, maybe bring it down a little bit. Like,
I think
a little Hammerstein.
I think they could have negotiated this in neutral ground because they're in New York where Diddy's from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You could have went to Cali with it. You could have.
Let's go to St.
You coulda
Louis.
went
Like
to
meet
Texas.
somewhere in the middle.
You could have went somewhere like in the in the Midwest or something.
Yeah, just like
Anywhere where both of you guys could anywhere you could drive there and you could take an Uber there to your place. Nah, bro, I would have been.
We're gonna have NWA versus Public Enemy, but we're doing the
would've
battle in
stayed
LA.
the same.
Guys, I'm a little come on, like that's why the Super Bowl's hold in neutral stadiums.
Touche. That's
Come on,
true.
man.
Speaking of stadiums,
Oh, this guy announced it.
I did. I'm the announcement maker.
speaking of
I'm like,
stadiums,
hey,
you guys are selling mighty a lot of tickets.
Dude.
You two brothers out here about to go out here and tear this up.
me, I ain't selling nothing, bro.
Hey, bro, you under contract. You selling tickets, bro.
There you go.
Hey,
So, this is monumental. You made the announcement. This is monumental. This is not only overseas, the ambiance of what that stadium is going to feel like when you guys are there. How do you both feel about this? How do you both feel about it?
Man,
Are you guys? I know you guys can't wait to go out there and tear it up. That is big news. You know what I mean? Each and every week, there's wrestling updates about how many tickets are being sold, what's happening. Wrestling Twitter, everybody's all of a sudden Ticketmaster on Twitter. You know what I mean? Where how much money you guys got in your pockets. But anyway, how do you feel about it? You know what I mean? About the upcoming pay-per-view? How do you feel?
the first 3 rows gonna be empty.
so
I'm like,
so for young wrestling companies, there are always like a couple of really monumental moments where you go, oh, this is the next level, or this is like the next step to the growth. This is that tenfold for AEW. Like we talk about Madison Square Garden.
man, I think for the business period,
For the business period. Like this will probably, no, it definitely, this will be the biggest pro wrestling card I've ever been involved in, for sure.
This is one of the biggest cards
Ever.
possibly ever.
Ever.
Period.
Exactly.
Like it's like not even us. It's that's what I mean. It's so much bigger than us.
Yep.
It's like this is for the industry.
Right.
Period. This is like sports.
Yeah.
Big like sports, like just overall sports. Period. Not sports entertainment. Not pro wrestling. Not like Central America. Not like Western. Like no, this is like sports history.
It's a historic night.
Because we know there's been nothing to come along like this in such a long time, other than boxing, has been able to pull this off.
Yeah.
So like we're possibly getting up into that.
Right.
So that needs to be spoken in volumes and screamed off the mountaintops. Like that needs to be put over so much, and like it hurts me because like so many people want to downplay that it's not a big deal. I'm like, this is a major deal.
Yeah, because and that is a bummer. Again, it all depends on people's mentalities, obviously. But I truly do mean this.
But we're not leaving them out. They can come too.
Well, but here's what I mean. When WWE does cool stuff, I'm so stoked for them.
Yes.
Like genuinely, I really mean that.
Puerto Rico was dope. I'm like, yes, go back. Do it again.
It's amazing. But when we do stuff, I like to think that there are a lot of people who think that it's really cool that we're doing what we're doing. And most people do feel that way. Like you said, just being happy for the pro wrestling industry and the growth of the industry as a whole is so important. But specifically for AEW, this is huge. It's enormous. It's as big as it gets, man.
It's enormous.
Yeah. Congratulations to both you guys, man.
Thanks,
and
man.
the whole wrestling business in general, man. The bigger things get, the more everybody can eat, the more everybody paycheck grows, the more awareness, the more things you could do, take care of, and it helps everybody.
Helps everybody.
Helps
everybody.
Exactly.
It changes lives.
Yep.
My biggest thing is like the more it does grow, the more it gets back to like getting on Saturday Night Live, getting on VH1, getting on like BET, getting on CNN, getting on all these major networks. Like, they already got the Foxes, we got the TBS and TNTs and stuff like that, but get it on these mainstream things again, like it was in the 90s.
Right.
Like that's the goal in my mind, because like I feel like with pro wrestling, I think we've with like the Manias going on, breaking records, with Wembley breaking records, with like our pay-per-views time in, time out, like doing just record numbers. It's like, man, like what wrestling's in a great spot.
Great spot.
It's in a great spot. So it's like, it's not even about how much more we can build more wrestling. It's like wrestling's great. We need to build more media.
Yeah.
You know, we need to build more. Like, there's so much more opportunity out there, and it's all right here. This
Right.
is how it does it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think now more than ever, pro wrestling is such an attractive form of entertainment. Like it has been this way for years, but there's seriously nothing like it. Like there's music, there's live crowd reactions, there's crazy physicality. Like I feel like now more and more as people tune into pro wrestling and watch it for the first time, they're like, oh my God, there is nothing like this. I would love to go to a live event, especially like an AEW live event where the crowds are like super rabid and super excited. Like
we're a concert every week.
For
bro.
real.
We're a concert.
A rock
Detroit
concert
was
roller coaster ride.
Fantastic too, by the way.
Great crowd. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, dude. Like, all right, let's get to some fun stuff. You just got
This has been fun? What do you mean?
I had a miserable time asking these legitimate questions, being my journalistic duty, which I've never went to a single class, got a single degree. I did it all on YouTube, and this guy right here on the couch in the beanbags. That's my expertise. That's my resume. Deal with it or go home. But anyway, we're going to get into some...
You got to get that on a shirt. Deal with it or go home.
Bro, don't play with me.
And it'll get another teacher
Don't
that
play
says
with me.
no script, bro.
Bro, don't play with me.
No.
Y'all, I'll do it. I don't care.
Dude.
I don't care. I'll put it on my Titantron. I'm not playing. Like y'all, what's the new Zelda game that just dropped? You have it in your possessions. You are playing it. You are having a good time. I want to play it with Chugs because I've never played a single Switch game ever.
Oh man,
I'm gonna watch the stream on that one because I like doing watch-alongs with games and playthroughs.
Me too. Yep.
I will watch yours when you start like putting your playthroughs on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
So I started it today, and I'm going to be streaming it all weekend. But again, The Legend of Zelda is such a great franchise because it was one of the first that really gave you that sense of discovery and wonder within games, even back on the NES. Tears of the Kingdom is that just on a much bigger scale. I played it for 3 hours today. That was it, only 3 hours. And the amount of questions and excitement I have about this game and this world has me so incredibly amped to play this game again tomorrow. The map is humongous. There is so much stuff to do. The music is great. Video game music to me is huge.
Kofi last time when he was here was talking about the music.
Oh my, it's huge.
Yeah.
Seriously, I have so many video game soundtracks or OST on my phone. It's not even funny. There are video games I think do better than any other form of entertainment, capturing the moment with the instruments. I just feel like they do such an awesome job.
Have you heard that there might be a Grammy nomination for that, a category for gaming?
There should be.
Like they're way behind on that.
Exactly.
Way behind.
They are way behind on that.
But that's been discussed. Like when I went to the Grammys last year.
They're so
because I'm like, dude. First off, the Last of Us soundtrack should have won, everything.
Dude.
But now that's on the show, it might get nominated. I'm like, no, on the game that should have been nominated, bro. 2013.
And there's such an appreciation of like orchestra music within video games that you see more than any other area of entertainment. Where seriously, these songs are beautiful. Like I can't tell you how many times, because Britt gives me a hard time because I love games so much. So
Britt giving a hard time? No. No.
So lots of times I'll play a song and I won't tell her what it's from. And she'll go, oh, what is this? You know, I'm like, Final Fantasy VII. She's thinking it's from a movie with so much pride.
You look at like, Final Fantasy VII, level 3.
It's a video game.
Yeah, you know.
But man, you're right. Video game music should be appreciated a lot more.
The one that sticks out to me is like the chorus of Halo.
Dude.
When that game comes on and...
I got goosebumps every time.
Oh, my God.
Our high school wrestling team, we used to run out to that song.
What?
Yeah. It was amazing. For our matches. It was awesome. Awesome. Hype us up, baby. Yep. It was great.
Then that like I remember like knowing that certain soundtracks, I knew which year of Madden we were playing.
Oh wow,
dude.
that's
Yes.
impressive.
Dude.
Yes. Yep, but like when you heard Jet, like, are you gonna be my girl? Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, Madden 03, baby, Marshall Falk on the cover. Bring me back. Or Killer Mike. Yeah.
That's 04.
Yeah.
Yep.
Madden 04, Michael Vick on the cover right there. Atlanta Falcons. The invention of the playmaker controls. I miss it. Yep. Like
Yes.
that's like, man, the music is so big in video games. Like now,
And remember back in the day, you used to, you know, back in our day, camera, wink, wink. Back in our day,
yeah.
when you'd buy the game, you get the soundtrack with it. They come with the CD
Yeah.
and the soundtrack.
I missed that.
And
The
they
double disc
they
it.
put the whole budget behind the damn song, and they get the professionals to do it. Like that's what I'm talking about, bro. Them days, man. They really are missing and really have been behind for years, not having that nominated for all the hard work and all the classic songs. I'm telling you, you might not even know. I might not can name you 4 of the bands on Tony Hawk, but I know what song is from.
Yep.
And I could sing the war songs word for word. I might not even know who the band is.
I found so many artists because of them games.
What?
Yep.
So many artists because of those. Is like, especially when it got to Tony Hawk Underground.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my god.
For sure.
This is before Shazam, and you could.
Yeah, right.
You had to go into options and kind of search and, you know,
Figure it
when,
out,
when dial-up internet, we had to figure out who was making who was these artists because you didn't know. You know what I mean?
So with gaming music, so much why I like it so much is like how it emotionally makes you feel. And my question is this: have you ever cried playing a video game?
Metal Gear 3, Snake Eater.
Okay, there you go.
The Snake Eater song climbing the freaking the pipeline. I'm like, yo, I just went through so much pain with this guy, and now it's like he's still freaking. I have to keep going.
Yeah,
and then just it sounded like a James Bond song.
Yeah,
and like that hit.
Oh,
me.
Snake Eater's so good.
Snake Eater's
Have I ever cried? Yes, the first Red Dead Redemption.
Oh
God,
the first one.
Okay.
When he got the second one was sad. Arthur, that was sad.
Oh.
But the first one, I was like, man, this man changed.
Arthur, I was like, Arthur, you could have got yourself out of this.
Arthur, man, all you had to do was follow the diet.
Oh, I was a bubbling mess in Red Dead 2.
Oh, you had
I was a mess. Literally, it's like me 3 a.m. by myself finishing this game as and I stand on shit.
Oh yeah,
and I'm
riding through
like,
Oh my god,
just a mess.
riding through Saint Denis.
A mess, dude. But I think like to this day, if I wanted, not saying that I could, but if I wanted to, I feel like if I listened to the main theme of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I could make myself cry.
Oh my god!
If I listen to it,
Oh my God.
It's so emotional and so sad.
That might be, like when you start doing movies. That might had to be the.
I was
all
good.
right.
Yeah, there you
Before
go.
the
Yep,
scene
yep.
is-
Oh, give me a second
Something.
before this scene. Just listen to it. Go off by myself and cry.
Yep.
But there was they do. Games move me more. Again, you'll be super excited if you get through something or super excited for a character. But my God, I don't know if it's because you're playing or the stories or the music or a combination of all those things. But video games really can be a tearjerker for me if it's emotional.
It becomes you can become attached
Yeah.
to characters,
Right.
and
Yeah.
therefore you do feel their feelings.
Yeah.
Especially all the damn work you put in. By the time at the
Yeah,
end,
exactly.
that's what really half of the tears be like, damn man, I didn't put all this goddamn work in.
My XP, where all my XP
Like,
going?
I done put all this work in. Like, bro, I done, like you said, Red Dead Redemption, I'm riding a horse. I'm building camps. I'm getting wood. I'm chopping bears. I'm doing all that. Then the man get left lung cancer. You're like, God damn it!
Why the left?
Why do I like, man? I'm that something happened during the
By
sad
the end,
years,
he's like,
come
I
on.
got bronchitis. I'm like,
I'm not going to the doctor. It's
I'm like,
just,
no,
they just gonna have to take me alive. Like,
no,
yo,
no, but I was being a kind of selfish asshole with it when he was like, yeah, man, he don't got too much longer. This might be it. And I'm like, so what does that mean about my leveled up satchel packs. Am I going to lose that? Am I going? So that just goes away, right?
So are we moving camp for the 13th time? Or?
So my bandolier, right? That's gone, right? Is what you know. It took me. I had to kill like so many things and trade them in to get the money to afford that. So that's gone.
So all this.
So
work,
both pistol, my ebony and my ivories are gone.
All the work I had to go into the snow and use my saddle, or use my rope to try to get this fast ass horse is done.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was like, what? So my new horse Thimble that I just bought, I'm not seeing it no more, right? Is what you're saying?
Oh, got it.
Got you. Okay.
God damn it! I just bought this balm to shave his face. God damn it, he's dead.
That irritated me in the game. I'm like, I just shaved his beard. How is it full now? Stop exchanging chapters.
Like, yo, there's no way this man face red.
I had the whole French twirl and everything. Now he's got a full beard. You're killing my yo.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What's something about a game that's like really like, where was I going with it? That's like, it's kind of like a trend in most of games that you're just like, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah, that's the easy thing, but like
a trend in a game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Like,
I got it. And this is gonna sound crazy because some of my favorite games are this genre, but the open world genre. I love a great open world game, but sometimes I just want to play a linear story driven game where there's no like exploration or things that you have to do.
Yep.
And again, don't get me wrong, Tears of the Kingdom, loving it, and I can't wait to play it. But I just don't want every game that I play to be me spend 3 hours walking around collecting resources. You know what I mean?
I don't need to go to the grocery store, bro. Let me just
yeah.
Give me our saves point. Come on now.
Let me just
Right.
get.
Like because that for me that's where I'm getting my gamer fatigue. Like
The
don't give me a
open
whole lot of just emptiness in my open world.
Sure.
To just go around. Like
well, that's where a game like Red Dead 2 or a game like Tears of the Kingdom, that's why they excel so much.
Yeah.
Because there's so little emptiness. There's always so much to do and so much life everywhere that the world is. But generally the open world games with a bunch of space and very little to do in between those points of interest, that's when it can be like, maybe this could have been a linear
I think that's the same thing with movies, though. I think at this point, same thing with movies. I think a trend that I'm getting tired of in movies, it started being cool at first. I think it kind of started with Heath Ledger as the Joker, but I think every movie now they're trying to find a way to make the bad guy look cool. In every movie.
Got it.
They're trying to find a way to make the bad guy be like the good person. Like you start rooting for him. No, some of these dudes are assholes. Excuse my language. Some of these dudes deserve to die. You know what I mean? Like
let him be.
But you know they're trying to make every movie now like it's like the movie role.
No, I want you to understand
every
his
villain.
pain.
They're trying to make the villain the cool guy at the end.
Feel why he did what he did.
Like, nah, bro. Captain America's doing his job, bro. Like, let him do his job.
Yeah,
like,
I don't need to know what his father did, his mama did.
Just killed 9 people, bro. Like, but because his philosophy, because the way the world was.
There's no balance. He needs a balance.
It's like no, get him.
His turtle.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he lost his turtle as an infant, so he never understood how to keep people close to him. So
Thanos listens to Tupac, so I don't want him to die.
And that's what's so interesting though about like a good villain. Because for example, my favorite villain ever, whether it be movies, TV shows, games, is this character Handsome Jack in Borderlands 2. And he does kind of have a hero origin story, but when he's a bad guy, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
You have zero concern, zero worry, zero empathy towards this guy. He is like scum of scum. But they did a great job of explaining. I like when there's an explanation of why villains become villains, but when they do become a villain,
they're villains.
I want to hate you from that point on.
They're villains.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Handsome Jack's the best, man.
What's a little like kind of like a it's kind of like your Twitch, your thing in a game that you have to do. You're kind of like obsessed over. You have to do this in your games.
Oh yeah, so I have to check. If this is, I'm so guilty of this in like 2D Metroidvania games. I have to always go left and explore every single room
before I go
to the main area. Yeah. If it tells me this is the main door you're supposed to go through, I will check and cancel out every single possible route or area that I can go.
You're a hoarder. You're
Big time. Big time.
For God, every person I take out in Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto or something, I am scavenging everybody. Everything.
I shot 30
triangle,
people. I'm going through
triangle,
every pocket.
Triangle. I'm getting every cent
All of it.
out of everybody, bro.
I was the guy in Crash Bandicoot. I had to hit every box.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot.
I had to 100% every box. Because then, like, you know how you kind of ran forward and you were getting near the end. You get to the hologram and it show like, what do you mean I missed 2 boxes? Where?
Right. Right.
You know how hard it is to go backwards in a Crash Bandicoot game?
Dude, going off exactly what you just said, like the classic Resident Evil 2, there would be times where I had plenty of handgun ammo and plenty of healing items. But I would get to a room and there would be 1 green herb that I definitely didn't need. But it was in the room. And the map was red, saying that there was 1 more item left. I would run 5 minutes back to the item box, store stuff, to go get the green herb, to take it back to the box and never use it, just to collect every item.
I needed it.
So it's the same thing as all the
room
boxes.
was red.
Right.
Gotta get that blue. Gotta get that.
It needs to be cleared across the board.
The backtracking in Resident Evil games.
Yep.
You're a maniac.
Yep.
Whoever created it, I love it was
so
cool
much.
for the first like couple levels, but then I'm like, it got exhausting. I was sweating.
Yeah.
It was. I'm like, I'm ready for bed.
Right.
This valve. This is how you got to turn it, but the valve was left way back here.
Right.
All the way back. Go elevator up. I'm like, oh, I don't remember this map.
Right. Right. I love those games. The Resident Evil. RE2 Remake is
2 was great.
My favorite Resident Evil game of all time. So good. So good.
I've been, I just know, I beat 4, the original one, Resident Evil 4, way back.
Oh, have you played Remake yet?
I have not,
Dude.
but I know, I've been watching it, but I'm like, I know how much work went into beating 4 the first time. Right. I don't know if I got it in me again.
You do. It's so worth the playthrough. It is so good, man.
I saw the backtrack and I was watching dude. He's like, "Oh, you mean I got a backtrack?" I'm like,
Did you like the original 4?
Yes, loved it.
I mean this, and I could say it with, well, at least, again, it's subjective. RE4 Remake is better than the original.
I believe it.
It's so good, man.
I
loved it. It is.
Well, just the parry knife I'm seeing,
dude, it
changes everything.
Good. I love the OG RE4, but RE4 Remake it's like they perfected it. It's so good and so fun to play, man. It's awesome,
man. Like
awesome. It's so good, man.
What's a game you don't want to see remade?
Don't want to see remade.
Yes.
Oh. A game I
want to left as is.
Oh, left as is. Oh, okay.
You don't want to remake from it.
Oh, that's a good one.
They already did that though. They did the trilogy,
but
they didn't remake it. But they did the.
A game I don't want to see remade.
Funny enough,
that's such a good question.
I went straight to Mass Effect 2.
Oh, did you?
That? Yeah, I went straight to that, and I had a ball.
Yeah.
Completed it.
There doesn't need to be any more Godfather games. That needs to be let go.
Okay.
I like 2.
2 was great. I only played 2.
Yeah, 2 was great. They don't need to make no more of those though.
Leave it alone. Don't touch. Look what they tried to do with the whole the whole Grand Theft Auto when they try to remake that.
Right.
Crashing
They
systems.
don't need to make another Scarface. I keep hearing they're trying to do another one. No, don't make. Yeah, leave the world is yours the way it was on PS2. That was cool.
What's this? What's this game?
Scarface game.
Oh, I haven't played it.
So good.
Okay.
I've always heard nothing but great things about that game.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated games ever.
They don't need to redo.
I know a game off the top of my head that I want remade. As far as a game I feel like they don't need. They did a next gen upgrade of it, and I feel like it's perfect. And I don't know if I'd want anything else to change. But The Witcher 3 is okay. Yeah, that's one of my favorite games ever, and I feel like it's perfect as is.
Shayna would talk about that a lot. Shayna Baszler.
Man, it is. That game was the epitome of, you would do a side mission and it would take you an hour.
Yeah.
And it would blow my mind thinking someone could play this game and never have experienced this story.
Yep.
Like the side mission stories were almost better than the main questions.
I love those. I love those.
And then as far as a game being remade, even though they already remade it, the original Metal Gear is solid, I think, for sure.
I would be okay with a remake on that.
Yeah.
I would love to see like next gen graphics. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would love to see next gen graphics on Metal Gear.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I would love that. And then but I'm really trying to think of like
that's tough.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
No.
There you go.
Dog, leave it where it is. And and too, the Def Jam fight for the rapper wrestling fighting games, leave that too. Leave that too.
Y'all tried with Icons, it was a disaster.
Leave the rapper
Don't touch
fighting games, leave that too. We don't. Nah, man.
Yeah, I don't want to fight with Lil Uzi.
I don't want to. I don't want to have
today's
to.
no.
I don't have to unlock John Legend and all. No. I'm cool. Want some content? No, I'm cool, bro. Really get to the 99 hard difficulty mastery. You get to you unlock the Kanye everybody hates. So like, no, we're good, bro.
Yeah, that'd be great though. You get suit Kanye from 808s, then you get like mask Kanye from
you get sweatpants. You get sweatpants with dark beard Kanye.
No, it's over. It's done. Yeah. It's done. You get house burning Kanye. No, yo, I just remember fighting games when your character would die. They'd make their sound, John Legend. Oh, that'd be funny.
Oh my lord,
yo,
good on that,
my
bro.
god, I don't want to fight with Cardi B. No,
let me ask you, wrestling guys, this question.
Yeah,
2020. Let's say I'm just throw this hypothetical. 2024, either where you guys work or WWE. We're gonna bring a new wrestling game with the Here Comes the Pain engine. Do you guys want it?
Oh yes,
absolutely.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Yep. That or the concept of like a No Mercy with modern graphics as well.
I was never good at No Mercy though.
I loved the simplicity of that.
I do.
Here Comes the Pain again. Another great example. So absolutely, if we had the chance to get a wrestling game like that,
I want to jump off the fist.
Let's go. That'd be awesome.
Do you know? Do you possibly know, good sir? You're the video game man in AEW, and you and Mr. Omega. Do you know any updates on the video game?
I wish I could give you more of an update, but I will say this. From the things that I've heard, I can confidently say I think a lot of pro wrestling fans, not just AEW fans, but pro wrestling fans are going to be so happy with this game.
Man, Kenny said it was on some man. I don't know. It's coming.
I don't think, but I obviously I don't have any details on it, but man,
like people have been playing it.
Good.
People have been playing it on the road.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to. I want to touch it when it's done, and then I want the store-bought copy of it.
Right.
I don't want to download it. I want to purchase it in my hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put it in my.
It's gonna be killer, man.
I'm gonna have to get one just to put on the wall, bro.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to just grab one just to put on the wall, bro. That's amazing. Plus, with you guys being in it and you guys seeing that and the first incarnation of that company with that game, and you could tell. You know what I mean? I think the tweaks and stuff they're making is worth it, and it's definitely going to be worth it, man. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man.
Congrats to you guys for being in that too.
Thanks.
That's great.
This is awesome, man.
And we got a bunch of music on there too. So I
got like 3 songs on that mug.
So,
nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
And this man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Bro, I want to come in and do some party stuff with y'all. With you and Claudio and them.
Oh, please. We have such a blast. Such a blast.
Yeah, man.
Screaming
I'm like
and yelling at each other while we play some Uno or Mario Party.
Man.
Wonderful.
I ain't played Uno in God knows how long. I'm terrible at every Mario Party there is.
Hey, I'm terrible too.
Yeah.
They have a thing for me called Bonehead Plays that I make all the time. But
that's the one we played with dude beat with Mike Pearl. Oh. My God, I never got my ass whooped so quick in a game.
Smash Brothers too.
Smash Brothers. Oh my God! I'm like, yo, I'm not playing this no more. I got my.
I'm like the games passed me by. I'm old.
I'm terrible at fighting games. Absolutely atrocious.
All of them, like any, like
yeah. I literally just button mash. and hope for the best.
Ooh.
I am no good.
Hey, brother.
like Kenny Omega.
That's my strategy too, sir.
Great.
No, bullshit, because he
He's
gets me
great.
in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that I know. Okay, that I know. Like OP, like.
But he can't touch me in Tekken.
Like no,
I dose everybody in Tekken.
Tekken I can't do. Mortal Kombat's more my thing. Street Fighter I'm like 50-50. If I ain't got Ryu or Ken, I'm ass. So yeah.
I'm like, who that?
So what are the biggest differences? Like because I love fighting games. I'm just very bad at them. But what are the differences between like a Tekken and a Mortal Kombat as far as button wise?
Tekken is more fluid. It's
Yes,
like
it
you
is.
can
Okay.
like and like mainly it's the timing.
Got it. Yep.
It's like that time and the
timing's different on
reaction.
every single fighting game.
Even with Street Fighter,
Yep.
Street Fighter's more like puh, puh, puh. They like for some reason they pause every time they hit something, and I hate that. I hate that so much. I think that's why I never. I'm like, I can't get a flow with nothing. They keep pausing every time he hits something, but like Tekken is so much more like. You can go high, low, mid, high, low, mid,
and it's just go, 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 go.
Oh my
Mortal
God.
Mortal Kombat's more impact.
Yep.
Impact moves. Get over here, Frozen. You know what I mean? It's more.
But Cameron,
Right.
nice. But
I got
it's also with Mortal Kombat it's the abilities. Whatever that character's
Character's abilities are,
if
right.
Some teleport, go back the level here. They make cyclones. They fall through and come up. So if you like. To me, that's what I noticed for the big three, like the Tekken, Mortal Kombat,
Street Fighter.
and Street Fighter.
Yep.
Like Mortal Kombat's more the abilities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can
Gotcha.
time those and like
Street Fighter's more deliberate and Tekken is more flowy.
flowy,
Okay.
big flowy. I can show you some stuff because the footage they have for Tekken 8 coming out.
Oh, I've seen it. It looks
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
yeah. And Street Fighter 6 looks unreal too.
it looks great too.
really good.
And like I'm hearing nothing but amazing things about it, but I'm still like. It's Street Fighter. Man, like, there's not too much we got left to ask you. I think we done, man. I think we had a good time
Yeah,
here.
well, this is great.
This is an awesome part,
Absolutely,
too.
man. So thank
A
you,
great
man.
sequel. I think people would be proud of this sequel.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
thank you guys.
dude, like, I need to get to the theater. Last movie I went to go see, I took this lady to go see Evil Dead Rise.
I heard that's amazing. And
Brutal.
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 But
No,
good
great
brutal.
movie.
Okay,
Great movie.
Okay, yeah.
Brutal violence. Just
Okay.
It was. I'm like, oof. It's like it made you kind of twist in your chair watching
Yeah.
it.
Britt won't watch horror or gore with me, so I'll have to go see it by myself at some point.
Oh damn. Oh, like yeah, it's worth the watch. It's a good story. Like the last Evil Dead was great.
Nice.
This one was awesome. Follow up. It's like two completely different stories.
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily watch the first one to understand this one. There's a completely good standalone by itself.
Right.
Good watch. At some point this week, I'm going to try to go see Guardians 3. Heard it's rocking right now. It's killing it. Flash coming up. I'm conflicted, but I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's I download my album. It's out. You Couldn't Be Me. It's out there. Go listen to it. What we got coming?
Make sure you guys, first of all, when you see these wonderful, the cops coming.
Oh,
So when you guys,
the fire alarm. Yeah.
when you guys go to our channel, this wonderful channel here, for this wonderful brother here to my left, and for the hard work that all of us put into this podcast, when you watch it, make sure you hit the like button
Share it
and
too.
subscribe.
Please.
Share
And
it.
share. You know what I mean? It goes great towards the algorithm. You know what I mean? Just hit the like. You guys comment, oh man, this is great. Oh, I don't like his shirt. Oh, this and that. Just hit the like button at least. You know what I mean? And then we cool with that.
Say whatever you want. Just hit the like.
You know what I mean? Make sure, like you said, make sure you go download my brother's project. You know what I mean? My brother's project couldn't be me out there on all streaming platforms right now.
I was
you know?
nervous wreck making this album because I'm in the booth by myself.
It was finally fun to executive produce something that ain't me. And I can get outside my damn body because when it comes to me, you'll get it like 3 years later. And it was fun to finally be with someone that's working on something and be a part of that. That's a wonderful thing. Make sure you guys, once again, at Swerve City Pod on Twitter, Swerve City Podcast Official on Instagram, me at TZ Jones. Make sure you follow me. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to plug social media wise?
Yeah, just first of all, again, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure. We'll do this any day of the week. I love you guys.
Love you too, bro.
wrestling wise, at Adam Cole Pro and at Adam Cole Pro on both Twitter and Instagram. But also, I know we did a lot of video game talk as well, but I do have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/thechugs. Play a bunch of different games on there. We have a blast, an awesome, kind, sweet community. So feel free to stop over there at some point as well. But that's about it.
It's on YouTube as well? Or
yes.
You do put it on YouTube?
I do have _chugs on YouTube as well. But if you just search the Chugs, it'll pop up. Where we have a lot of stream highlights and edited down. Lots of times I'll do like a 4-hour stream. Oh, so these YouTube videos are anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long. If you have a little, you do
your own
time.
editing, or you got somebody?
No, I have someone who does it for me. He does an amazing job.
Build a team, y'all. Because build a team.
Yeah,
man. That's what it's about here. Swerve City Podcast. We got another one down. Can't wait for y'all to see who the next guest is, because that's gonna be a fantastic one. But I ain't gonna tell you here. Wait and see. As always, be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
And do your homework. We out.